So you've probably noticed a lot of people on LinkedIn have different background images. The real question is it even worth it? Hey, how's it going? Ryan Castle here from b2bleads.com. Today we're going to be diving into whether or not you actually need to have a LinkedIn background image on your profile, LinkedIn profile, and whether or not it's worth it. And of course, what you need to, if you do have one, what you need to make sure you cover or what you need on it and to make sure you get the most value from it. So to cut straight to the chase, yes, if you're looking to generate leads on LinkedIn and drive more sales, then a LinkedIn banner is a great way to do that. Now, the reason it's so important to actually drive more sales and leads and things like that is because it takes up such a big component of your page. It's above, if you're familiar with the saying above the fold is gold, which referred to newspapers, the top of the page one on the newspaper where it used to sit on the pile, it was the only thing that you could see. So it was basically saying that real estate was gold, and that's the same thing on LinkedIn. It's anything that's above the fold when people first land on your page and that smacks them in the face is golden real estate, and you need to make sure that you do the most with it in order to capture people's attention. Remember, a lot of us are going to be doing outbound lead generation, or let's say even if we're doing inbound, where we're posting content and people might end up on our page, we need to capture people's attention really quickly in order for them to read more about our profile, go to the about section, and end up on our website and book calls with us, become leads, become clients. So it's really important that we get this right, make sure it looks good, and that it actually drives people to our website and to us and to leads and to sales. So let's have a look at some examples here and explain what you need to have in place in order to have a good background image. So we're on my profile here. You can see mine. So as far as LinkedIn backgrounds go, yeah, I mean, it's nice and slick. It's kind of interesting. The most important thing for me is that it captures people's attention and gets them to want to learn more. So when it comes to background images, what we're trying to do is really the first thing, like I said, is capture people's attention. That's our primary objective with it. Enough that people are going to get interested and want to go down and read more. On LinkedIn, we're dealing a lot with people's subconscious biases, which means that first impressions really matter. And if your background image doesn't sort of drive a positive or intriguing type first impression, then people are just going to bounce and head elsewhere. So first thing is it needs to be attention grabbing. The next thing we want to do is try and build credibility. So mine's not necessarily the best at building credibility. I'm of the belief that the domain name itself is valuable and that people will see B2B leads and see that we are leaders in B2B lead space. And that's where I've tried to leverage that credibility aspect. But there's tons of different ways that you can build credibility. I'll show you a good example of one where you can actually leverage, if you've worked with big brands in the past, you can leverage that in your background image as a way to build credibility and trust. Like there's this intrinsic, when you see these logos of big companies that you know, there's this intrinsic feeling of trust that, hey, these big companies trust him and these guys are massive companies, therefore, I can too. Subconscious biases, it's not necessarily the thought process that runs through their head, but it does happen subconsciously. So this is a really great example of another way that you can build credibility. What's another one? Another one is if you talk and you run keynote speeches. James Smith, good example, talking up the front of an audience. If there's a big crowd that you can include in it as well, wow, a really great way to build that credibility and trust and drive people to read more about you and just drive this instant idea that, hey, this guy's a credible source or an expert in his field. And if you can, try and have an image. If you can't do that, another really powerful thing you can do is call out your target market and get the image on brand. So if you deal in construction, maybe have an image of like construction or people working in construction. If you have an app that's targeted at construction, someone in construction with, holding a tablet. So you can go to Pexels, I think, has free background or free images that you can use. My experience is you can never really get what you want with this because it's free. So I'd recommend heading to Shutterstock if you want to get something quite specific and quite targeted. Shutterstock. So you can type in something like construction, iPad, something like that, and you'll get tons of images, pretty much exactly what you want, high quality. Only like $10 an image. Now, how you go about creating it, if you're comfortable with design, obviously you can put something together yourself, but for the most part, I'd recommend just heading to somewhere like fiverr.com, just type in LinkedIn banner, and you'll find tons of people who could do it for like 15, 20 bucks, kind of next to nothing. And they'll do a great job as well. So have a scan around, look at the reviews, and you can find someone there to do it for you. If you're really trying to save money and do it on the cheap, head to b2bleads.com and BGC, background creator. And I've created a little one here that you can use to create your own image. So just change the logo out with your own, change the text out with your own. Obviously you can change the font. This is just using Google Docs, Google Slideshow. And I've put this overlay here so that you can change out the image in the background. So say you found one on Pexels or Shutterstock that you want to use. Copy image, you just paste it in. Obviously you buy the proper version and then just send it to the border, send it to the back. Bring this guy down. Delete the background, a little bit fidgety. Move that across. And then you can just change out the text and logo with your own ones there. So there's an option for a dark background, there's an option for a light background. And like I said, this will, and then once you've got it how you want it, simply download as a JPEG, and then you can just upload it to your LinkedIn profile. Get back to your profile and change photo, upload. It's very simple, very easy to do, and very important. When people land on your page, your profile picture and your background image is the first thing they see, and it needs to be slappy in the face, obvious why they should trust you, who you help, what you do, credibility, all that kind of stuff. It needs to, like, without using any words, almost just make that obvious. So should you use a background image on your LinkedIn profile? Well, yeah, if you're trying to get clients and generate leads on the platform, it's a prime opportunity to build that trust, build credibility, help people understand what you do, drive interest, and get them to want to read more and learn more. I hope that's been helpful. I'm Ryan Caswell from b2bleads.com. Have a great day.